GaragePros is on the road. We are at SEMA 2013 in the Flex-a-lite display, and Lisa from Flex-a-lite is here to tell us about what is this contraption you have here. Is this to pull people into the display? How does this work?
No, this is actually for the 6-liter Ford.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
Yeah, well, these have a common failure point in the stock system. There's a crimp where the plastic nylon tank comes to the radiator. They build up enough pressure that they're actually blowing those out, okay? So square one, we wanted to make sure we built a radiator that is 2-row. We can get 16% more cooling capacity in the radiator itself. It's all hand welded, so it's gonna have the strength to stand up to those pressures. But then we also wanted to remove the clutch fan. It takes a good 20-some pounds off of the system if you take the clutch fan and the shroud out, so you get significant performance gain by doing that. So we know these guys tow, and sometimes they tow a lot. So we put together our largest cooling fan to date. This actually moves 6,800 cubic feet per minute.
I've never heard numbers like that before. That is unbelievable.
It's a first. We also had to come up with a way of tricking the computer system to think it still had a clutch fan. So this is what we call an emulator. So it sends the signal back to the computer, says, yep, you still got a clutch fan, even though it doesn't, because I'm going to operate it with my variable speed controller right here. So it'll tell the fans to come on only when it needs to. So I'm not drawing any amperage that I don't need to. But we also took a look at the transmission cooling system because it was a single tube that was in the bottom of the OE tank, right? So we stood it out here, added more rows with the transmission cooler. We also added a cover plate to the back side, so if you have any rocks or debris coming in from the bottom, you're not going to affect these fins because these can be quite soft. We also added this tab here so that your lines come right down here and they're not going to get chafed on that edge right there, so it's real clean, tight.
Unbelievable. Tell me a little bit about, and you may not have exact numbers on this, but when you come up with something and you find out there's a problem in the market, and you guys want to fix it, from start to finish, what is that process like? I mean, if somebody, somebody says, hey, we're having some problem with the 6.0s, they're really overheating and they're blowing these things out, then what happens after?
This particular project took 3 years because of this little guy. Okay. Figuring out how to make sure that they weren't going to get any codes going off because it would send them into limp mode. So we actually bought one, and I've been testing it now for 8 months to make sure that there was no problems with it. As far as getting the fit and the function and that kind of, it typically is, 3 months about from start to finish, but things like that cover plate, that never existed before. So as we developed the product, we went, wait a minute, we could improve here, or why don't we put that feature in there? Because we really want people to see the quality that they're paying for when they buy a Flex-a-lite product, right?
Absolutely. Well, Flex-a-lite's been doing it for years, and they continue to do it better and better every single year. Once again, at SEMA 2013, hanging at the Flex-a-lite display, I'm Nolan for GaragePros.